You've probably heard of it. It's been called the #1 personal finance book of all time. Since it came out way back in 1997, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad has sold millions and millions of copies. It totally changed how a lot of people think about money. But here's the question. Is it a brilliant guide to financial freedom, or is it something else entirely? We're going to break down the ideas that made it such a phenomenon and dig into all the controversies that came with it.
So, first things first, you gotta ask, how is a book that's over a quarter-century old still crushing it on the bestseller lists? Well, the answer is in the story at its heart. It's powerful, it's simple, and it just clicks with people. It taps right into that universal anxiety we all have about money and work.
The whole book, the entire thing, is built around this one central idea, a tale of two dads. Kiyosaki says he learned everything he knows about money from two very different father figures, and they had completely opposite philosophies about how to build wealth.
So on one side, you have his poor dad. That was his actual biological father, a super educated, hardworking guy who believed the path to success was simple: get good grades, find a secure job, and get a steady paycheck. But on the other side, there was his rich dad, his best friend's father. He was a self-made entrepreneur who believed in owning businesses and making your money work for you. This simple contrast is basically the engine that drives the whole message of the book.
Now, according to Kiyosaki, that poor dad way of thinking leads you straight into what he calls the rat race. And you know this feeling. It's like being on a hamster wheel. You work harder, you get a raise, but then your expenses just magically grow to meet your new income, and you never really get ahead. It's such a powerful metaphor for how so many people feel stuck.
And this quote right here, it just nails the huge mindset shift the book is trying to sell you. It's not about earning a bigger paycheck from your job, it's about changing the whole game. The goal isn't just to be a well-paid employee in the system, it's to own the system.
Okay, so with that big idea in mind, let's actually dive into the playbook. What are the specific lessons that turn this book into a global phenomenon?
Which of course leads to the million-dollar question, what is the secret? If working for a paycheck is the wrong way to go, what's the right way? Well, according to Kiyosaki, the answer is actually surprisingly simple.
It all boils down to this. This is probably one of the most famous takeaways from the book. An asset is simply anything that generates income and puts money into your pocket. We're talking things like rental properties, stocks that pay dividends, or a business you own that turns a profit.
And the opposite of that is a liability, anything that takes money out of your pocket. Now, this is where one of Kiyosaki's most controversial ideas comes in. He claims that for most people, their biggest asset, their family home, is actually their biggest liability, because it costs you money every single month with the mortgage, taxes, and upkeep. He lays this all out in what he calls his cash